Welcome to Equal Heat, the channel where nobody gets a free pass. I'm an independent conservative, which means no party is backing this channel. I'm not loyal to a team. I'm loyal to principles. If you're tired of the lies, the betrayal, and the flip-flopping on both sides, help keep this mission alive. Like the video, subscribe, and leave a comment telling me where I got it right, where I got it wrong, or what topic we should break down next. Today on the hot seat, Donald Trump, and the gap between drain the swamp talk and what has happened to all that enforcement pressure we were told would come. Trump says he's the anti-corruption president, the guy who cuts waste, the guy who drains the swamp. But when you look past the slogans and focus on enforcement, the part that actually keeps powerful people in check, a pattern shows up. The pressure keeps getting turned down. This isn't about personality or media narratives. It's about a claim. I fight corruption and waste. Once you make that your brand, you don't get judged by your enemies. You get judged by what you do with power. Specifically, do you strengthen enforcement or do you soften it? Here's the first red flag. Trump launched a big government efficiency effort to cut government waste, fraud, and abuse. Then it quietly disappeared once Elon left. If cutting waste is the mission, the effort shouldn't vanish when the popular names and cameras do. That's why this raises eyebrows. The Department of Government Efficiency was marketed as serious reform. Big talk, big expectations. The efforts were bearing fruit. A lot of waste, fraud, and abuse of taxpayer money was being uncovered and revealed publicly. Those guilty people and those loyal to them turned up the heat on Elon and Trump by hitting them in the pocket to cause them pain and to force them to focus on protecting their own businesses and protecting their assets instead of focusing on what had been uncovered by the task force and keep them too busy and distracted to find more. And it worked because Elon had to leave the program early as shareholders in his businesses were delaying with quickly decreasing share prices. So the program to end government waste, fraud, and abuse folded early and got absorbed into routine bureaucracy. Real anti-waste work is boring, makes you a mark for ATSCs, and requires a long-term commitment. When the project fades but the slogan stays, it looks like branding, not real pressure to change. If Trump was serious about the mission of that team, he would have rebuilt it with new members that had everything to gain by staying in that fight, for the long haul, not just move on to the next shiny object. Next red flag. The administration paused enforcement of America's main foreign bribery law. If corruption is the enemy, you don't slow down the law that punishes it. You enforce it harder. That pause matters. The Foreign Corrupt Practices Act targets American companies bribing officials overseas. Pausing enforcement doesn't reform the law. It signals tolerance. And the winners aren't small businesses. They're multinational corporations with lawyers and leverage. If bribery is wrong, it's wrong even when enforcement is inconvenient. Another red flag. A DOJ task force built to seize oligarch assets and chase elite corruption was disbanded. If you're tough on dirty money, you don't shut down the unit chasing it. Come on, Trump. That's basic. Task Force Klepto Capture targeted sanctioned Russian oligarchs and international money laundering. You can call it restructuring, but outcomes matter more than labels. One less unit means less focus, less pressure, and less follow-through. Next red flag. SEC enforcement dropped while 40 million regular crypto investors were promised clarity. But less enforcement and unclear rules don't protect regular people. They protect insiders. Trump knows this. The new Trump-selected SEC leadership came in and enforcement slowed. But everyday investors still didn't get plain English rules. That combination favors people who can afford ambiguity. Continued lack of clarity without enforcement is useless. Enforcement without clarity is unfair. This change of the person leading the SEC has delivered neither. There are millions of crypto holders with assets that are seriously undervalued for no other reason than because the SEC in Washington seemingly refused to give simple clarity. That was promised years ago and during the Trump campaign. Why he hasn't demanded this be done already is anyone's guess, but it's definitely a red flag. Here's another red flag. Crypto stablecoins got clear federal rules while the rest of crypto rules have been left fuzzy. When only one lane gets paved, people ask who that lane is for. That's why it's a red flag, especially in Trump's case. A framework was created for payment stablecoins, while the rest of the market has been made to stay in limbo. This against the backdrop of Trump having his own stablecoin through World Liberty Financial. Self-interest, anyone? Selective clarity creates winners and losers, and it's rarely accidental. If protection is the goal, rules should be clear for everyone, including the other 40 million crypto holders out in these streets. Last red flag. A high-profile crypto figure gets pardoned during a broader pro-crypto push. Legal? Yes. Clean optics? No. It looks like access matters with Trump, just like with corrupt Democrats. Trump pardoned Binance founder CZ, who pled guilty and was even involved in other actions that led to over $8 billion in retail crypto investor losses. And there's also a matter of $1 billion of customer money that is still missing. Presidents have the power to pardon, but when enforcement drops and industry messaging turns friendly to only a select few, people notice. You don't need proof to see the influence and major conflict of interest optics. Apply one standard. If a Democrat did all this, conservatives and Republicans would call it corruption. So the rule can't change based on party. Anti-corruption means sustained pressure and guilty people going to jail, not unbridled segments of the economy, not newly convicted people being set free, and not slogans that fade. This isn't a verdict. It's a consistency test. When enforcement weakens while rhetoric stays strong, credibility erodes. Thanks for listening. I'm an independent conservative. No party backs this channel because I'm loyal to principles, not teams. If you're tired of the lies and flip-flopping on both sides, help keep this mission alive. Like the video, subscribe, and leave a comment telling me where I got it right, where I got it wrong, or what we should break down next. Equal heat, equal pressure. No free passes for either side.